Hey guys, what's up? It is your boy Dennis Nicholson here today, here to give you another video. And this video is going to be talking to me about basically one of the names that have been circling around is basically Demarcus Lawrence. And I think one of the big things is to talk about is definitely his cap situation. As a lot of Cowboy fans would know, is that we are not in a great cap situation. Obviously, with not only the consideration of just have to re-sign Dak Prescott, but we're just going to have to re-sign. It's not only just resigning. We just got to go to rebuild mode with that defense. And I just don't think we're going to bring everyone back. I think we're going to have to let go of Lewis, Awuzie. Maybe I think Anthony Brown's about to be done with his contract this year. We're about to lose a lot of guys on that defensive backcourt, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough to try to get replaceable guys for those backcourt. It have to be a necessary move because we just don't. We're not going to have the money. And we're going to have 21 mil, which is, it's not the worst, but it's not the best cap room to have. I just feel like we're going to see some moves happening, and it's going to be very interesting. I think one of the big moves we're going to see happening, I think, is definitely Demarcus Lawrence leaving Dallas. I don't know if they're going to cut him. I don't think they're going to really cut him. I think they're going to trade him and get some value out of him. I don't know when that. I think this trade will probably happen more near the free agency. If they cut him, I wouldn't be mad either way. I would try to maybe get some value out of him. But the problem with trying to get value out of him, I don't know if someone's going to take his deal. I mean, his deal is pretty massive. I mean, he has a $45 million cap hit this year, and that cap hit jumps up to $54 million the next year. I just don't think and I love Demarcus Lawrence. I think he's a good football player, but I just don't see us paying $54 million to a defensive end that, yeah, is great, but we have so many other needs on this defense that I just think we need to get rid of the big cap space and have that cap to invest into those other positions. And you got to think of long term too. You're going to eventually have to pay CeeDee Lamb. You're going to have to eventually pay Van Der Esch. You're going to have to eventually pay, these guys. These guys aren't going to be cheap guys. They're not going to be in there and going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to take a cheap contract. They want their money, and it's going to be depending on how you're going to spread out that money and who you're going to pay. And I think, Demarcus Lawrence is just a big cap hit that we just got to get rid of. And I love Demarcus. I'm not saying Demarcus is a bad player at all. I think he's still got a lot of football left in him. But we just got to do what's best for the organization. And I just think, moving on from Demarcus Lawrence, it's a tough decision to do, but I just think it's the best decision to do. Now, as I said, do I know when we exactly were going to ship him? I don't know, but I definitely see Demarcus Lawrence. Jalen Smith is in that mix, and I think we have to get rid of guys that are been staples on this team, but just need to go. I think Sean Lee is a perfect example. I think Sean Lee, I love him. He's a great player. He's done a lot for this organization, but he's not healthy, and I just don't see him in the 2021 lineup. I just don't see him where there's a thing to work out with him. Same thing with Tyron. I think we should just get rid of Tyron. Tyron hasn't been that great, and I just think we just gotta ship a lot of these guys out and start fresh on that defense. I think that's just really what Dallas needs to do, and I think it has to start from the top to the bottom. And I think Demarcus Lawrence is one of those guys that do not be shocked if he gets traded. I don't think they're going to release them. I think they're going to try to get some value out of him. I wouldn't be mad if we get at least maybe a second or third round draft pick out of him. I just think we need to get a draft pick that we're going to use to then get maybe not a future defensive end, but maybe get a future position that's more in need. And because we got some young guys on that D line. We got Randy Gregory. We got Brandon Anahe. Don't forget about that guy. He was a 4th round draft pick from Dallas, and I think he could develop if we choose to try to develop these guys. I think we have a lot of young talent on this team. Reggie Robinson is still there. Trevion Diggs is going to still be there. So I think, if you just get some veteran presence in there and open up your pockets and get a little bit more cap room in there for that defense, definitely invest in it. I think that's just the best thing we have to do. We have to just break down that defense and then rebuild it. And I think that's, that's just what's going to happen. If